Alright, Adc Community, we are back again with another educational commentary. Today we are playing LUCIAN Ivern versus Seraphine and Zilean. We're going to be playing this matchup pretty aggressively, if I want to say so myself, because early game, while Seraphine and Zilean have a lot of early push, I typically think that I should overpower them as an easy carry if I just play more aggressive, as later on it gets really difficult to kill them, obviously with Zilean's revive and Seraphine with her huge shields. So, for Rures, we're going the standard PTA and the inspiration tree, but for summoner spells, we're going to be going cleanse here. Alright, let's see how this will go for us. I don't want to walk in too soon, because if they just fire another set of bombs or Qs in this bush, then I'm going to lose a lot of HP. The name of the game here is I want to take, number one, obviously winning trades, and number two, I want to get to level 3 so I can get my dash. Or level 2, honestly. But level 3 so I can have a full-on combo, and that'll be the most optimal one for us. Here, Seraphine and Zilean both use their spells, so I want to ping that my support, I want to go forward here. There. Okay, we started shield on Ivern, which I don't really particularly like in this matchup. Here, just trying to dodge Seraphine. Here, I'm going to try to stop her from getting that minion for free. Get one more auto for PTA, that's pretty good. Contesting push versus Seraphine early is really hard because her Q is a really big AoE, and alongside when she gets her double cast, there's no champion in the game that can match that early. Like, look at that. The wave clear is absolutely insane. But now that I have my E level 2, the key here is I'm either looking to dodge Seraphine's double E, the double wave, or I'm looking to dodge Zilean's double bomb. I have to use my E to dodge one of them. I can't just E in forward without seeing one of the abilities first. Otherwise, I will become trapped, and it's going to be a losing trade. Here, my jungler is pathing down to me, so I want to establish a little bit of push in the lane so I can help contest the Scuttle Crab and also set up a kinkable lane. Right here, I know for a fact that they're going to be going for this cannon here, so I'm going to walk up on them, add a little pressure, deny them from that range creep. Notice how every time I walk up, I apply a lot of pressure to them where they have to give me the respect and just back away. So, with that knowledge being known, it means that they don't have a jungler coming down here yet, or it's not going to be nearby. Because if they did, they would be more willing to try to bait me in and try to fight it out. Here, I see that my two backline mage range minions are pretty low HP, and I think that Seraphine wants them. Here, I denied them one. Almost denied them two, but I need to farm that. Boom. See there? Zilean uses bomb in the bush on Ivern earlier. Seraphine used her E, and so I'm going to look to dash in and look for that short trade. Like I said, I established push now, so if enemy jungler shows up, like here, I wish that my jungler came down and fought this. No flash. We should be able to get this. Nice. That's pretty good for us. I need you to... Okay. Man, it's really sad because I'm playing with my idea purely around to help my jungler, but my jungler didn't feel the same way. And that's going to be a really sad part about solo queue, is even if you make the correct play and you're trying to benefit someone else, they might not try to, you scratch their back, they scratch yours. And so, it's fine. They didn't choose to freeze the bot lane, which is great. So I get to, not get frozen on, I get this mech minion wave. But now I know that if I want to help my jungler, I have to think about it a little bit more selfishly than if I were to, play more selflessly and try to help him. Okay, here the enemy bot lane is looking for a little bit more poke before they look for a TP. Seraphine has TP, right? And so her idea here is she's going to try to, number one, get as many minions as possible. And number two, look for a good amount of trade and make me burn my resources before she TPs back, so she can be fully statted while I'm going to be struggling and having to take another base. So, how do I counteract this? The best way to counteract this is just Harch up and try to match her base. And so when she TPs back, her new objective now is she has to push in this wave before I get back if she wants to keep an advantage. So here, crash this wave, base over here, and now look. Now she has to crash this wave and this next coming wave before it hits my turret. Okay. Bind a longsword here. So, for builds, what are we going? Okay, it's pretty hard for us to get a full combo off on them, and we don't have a lead right now. So going Kraken Slayer is out the window. Hex Optics. Hex Optics looks pretty good. I can't lie. I think that they are range enough for me to keep my distance and abuse Hex Optics abilities. However, we are a very all-in team, so maybe we're going to see how it goes. But because this bot lane, however, is very, like, shove and, like, wave clear heavy, I think the benefit of having an Essence Reaver for the wave clear of, like, the mana, then it's going to help us out a lot. Here, I can't end up dodging that skill shot just because I really don't want to miss cannon. Okay, E up in 5. I want to keep on playing aggressive here before I hit level 6. Land a nice little combo on Seraphine. No shield on Seraphine here. Okay, that's a flash. Again, I can't use my dash until I see either a singular bomb come out. I can use my dash here. Oh, no I can't. See what I mean? That's the mistakes that's going to happen. I can't dash in that freely. It's pretty hard. I'm going to flash out. Just try to preserve as much HP as possible. Well, I said I shouldn't have dashed in, but I thought I had enough distance away from the Seraphine. But they also exhausted me, which was really strange. So, that is another thing to think about. This is not good for us. Their mid laner has first move. I can't make it to that play. I should just back out. Here, they're going to be focused on Dragon here, and so I'm going to take this time to look for a base rather than shove my wave. If I had more stats, like I was full HP, full mana, I'd look to try to shove out. But because these are the circumstances I am given, however, I would rather just take my base, get full stat again, and then try to do another sequence bot lane. Okay, this is actually really hard. I need to think of a way in order to get a lead in this lane before they start outscaling me. Here, Seraphine has no flash, no mana, and so I want to just force a really big fight here. There's nothing I can do. Going for poke does nothing. I'm just going to try to hold a freeze here. Holding a freeze is the best way I can deny Seraphine because she doesn't have TP. And she has to go base. Like, she literally has 1000% has to go base. So I'm going to drag these minion waves down even furthest I can. And then I'm going to duck into the bush, drop minion aggro. And then we just leave it like this. This is the best way I can get an advantage right now. And I can't hold a freeze for Seraphine for long, right? Because she can just double Q the wave. But this is what I have to do. Seraphine just hit 6, and so I can't actually look for an all-in either. My jungler is now falling behind. Okay. I want to posture aggressively, but the more aggressive I posture, the less chance I have of getting the melee minions. So once again, I'm going to drag the wave here, and then duck into the bush to drop aggro. Here we see that Zillion. We can probably look to aggress here whenever she walks up again. Let's go. Just gonna cleanse that. Make sure that she 100% kill confirmed. I probably don't have to cleanse, but just in case. I don't want any funny business to happen. I want to keep on freezing this. Like, freezing is way better here than pushing. Like, Zillion's gonna be going top, and like, there again, Seraphine doesn't have TP. My best bet here is just make sure that she can't play the game. The longer she's frozen on, the higher XP lead I get, and I can just keep on farming her for gold whenever she comes back. See, Udyr's hovering bottom side. I kind of want to ping my Udyr to come fight here whenever the Seraphine comes back. It'll be a free kill for everyone involved. Never mind, Seraphine's going to go stop my Udyr. Very interesting that she goes to check the red buff. But I guess, like, that's the only play he has, right? Invade the bottom side. Kindred is bottom side, is top side, and so I don't really want to move to contest. However, my freeze is being slightly broken here off of, you know, Daisy getting aggro. Okay, Seraphine has just died. Kindred is not down here. My freeze is slightly breaking over time, and so I'm just going to hard push now. I have to adapt to the situation that I'm given, and so my wave state, I can't hold this freeze forever. What I can do, though, is I can take one more wave. I'm going to actually ult this, I can't lie. I'm going to dash, take this plate, Q, auto, and then I'm going to do my W auto. I'm just going to ulti the wave. Just the fastest wave clear as possible, and then I'm just going to go home. With this, I can either choose to finish my Hex Optics now, or I can go Essence Reaver. Because I think Dragon is spawning in 2 minutes and I'm not getting another base off, I think Hex Optics is what I'm going to be opting for, just to get my power spike as fast as possible to get it online. Because I don't think they have wave lane control anymore, which means that I don't have to preserve mana, I can just look for fights. Getting the more aggressive item is going to be the way I'm going to adapt to this game and try to establish foothold. Okay, they use their spells. I can look for an auto and Q. Can't get a Q off, not in range, but it's fine. Here, I'm going to put a sneaky little ward into this bush. Zilean didn't auto it, which means that he doesn't have vision of tier 3 bush. I don't know where the enemy jungler is. Yep, he's behind us. And so that's why I didn't take the Ivern Q inwards. Seraphine used her Q. Dash onto the Seraphine here. Wow, that is tragic. Oh, this is even more tragic. Ah, that's even extra tragic. There's a Kiana ulti into a Zilean ulti into exhaust and then double flash. Like, oh my god. What a depressing time. I try to look for that big play because if I end up getting double kill there, well, number one, Zilean messed up because he's going to miss his bombs and he's running away from his Seraphine. And so I try to track down the Seraphine there. But she has flash. She lands her double shield. Yeah, I think we get the Kindred though. Yep, we do indeed get the Kindred, which means that we do end up getting this dragon. Now, the reason why I bought this Cull is because normally in this lane state against double mages, they're just going to permanently push you in, not give you any interaction whatsoever. And so it's going to be a farm lane. And because I can't really... Most of the time, Lucian doesn't like buying Cull. Most of the time, Lucian, you want to get to your item breakpoints as fast as possible, your item completions. And setting yourself back 400 gold early game is pretty detrimental to your game state. But the reason being of this is I technically should never get a lead in this lane. Unless they mess up and allow me to be as aggressive as I want, they can just hold their E and their Q abilities or their double bombs, and I can't ever get an aggressive lead. And so the only way I can get a lead there is just by buying Cull and just kind of outscale them, just do, you know, farming methods. Here's Zilean's walking up pretty far. Get a nice little W auto into a Q there. I need to find out every single piece of, you know, damage I can stretch out in this lane in order to, you know, get them as low as possible before they start, you know, stacking up their shields, heals, revives. It's just really annoying. Let's see. Oh, I missed my cannon. I'm so depressed. Why'd my Ivern auto it? Okay, Kiana's missing. That's another tip that whenever the enemy mid laner is fed, look at what they play, right? Look what they play. If it's a control mage, typically they aren't going to roam. But anytime that I see it's a mid lane and it's an assassin, like such as Kiana or something like that, I am always staring whenever they're fed when they're leaving that lane. That way I'm not dying and giving them even more kills. So here, Kiana's back in lane, right? It's now playable. There are a lot of conditions in order for me to be able to comfortably dash in. They have to miss their Zilean double bombs. They have to, you know, use their Seraphine E and or R. And I have to make sure that their mid lane's not roaming. And I need to know where their jungler is. There's a lot of conditions here, but that's what makes a challenger player, right? We think of all of these things already, and we have that checklist. So the moment we spot that there is an opening, we instantly take it. It's more pattern recognition than anything else. Like, we've trained so much of just noticing all these small, you know, interactions that when we notice, like, there's an actual good opening, we'll take it. So here, don't know where Kindred is, but we know that our jungler is nearby. We see Kiana. We're going to look for this fight here. Seraphine used her Q. I'm going to try to walk forward and bait the Zilean bomb. Yep. Oh, wait, my jungler left. I didn't realize. Just try to fire my ulti here. There's their jungler. I'm going to dash out. Jungler flash in. Okay, that's the part I was not aware of. I didn't realize my Udyr left and strictly just straight up ran mid as fast as he humanly could. I pinged that I wanted to fight bot lane, but I guess he just didn't listen, and he just decided that it was in his best interest to leave us. And so, my bad. Honestly, that is my bad, because I should have just noticed that he left, but I thought because I pinged, it would be communicated that he should listen. Yet again, another instance of I'm trying to, in a way, help my jungler by helping him like get a gank off and get kills, but he just doesn't want to listen, and he doesn't want to participate in the group activity. But, you know, that's okay. We move on. Okay, the good part is, though, I did, on my death, have enough money to buy BF Sword, so I'm still ahead of the curve because Seraphine hasn't finished her item yet. And I just finished my Cull. So I have a massive amount of gold income And so here, because Seraphine needs the base, just push this. And I'm going to be looking for another base immediately. And the reason for that is I can buy a pickaxe off this base. And why is that important? Dragon's coming up in a minute 30. Ooh, that was an insane double bomb landing. Dragon's up in a minute 30. And so I want to take over a mid lane. And I want to look for a fight here. Because I know that we want to fight for these objectives. So here, we're looking for that. That's pretty good. I'm running into this fight soon. The goal here is to play behind my team. It's really hard for us to look for footing. I need to look out for the skill shots. Snipe the Seraphine with that. Wow. Nice. Udyr gets to clean up this, I'm pretty sure. Okay, nice. He dodged that. I think he's out. Ooh, he's not out. This Tahm Kench is the GOAT. Unfortunately, Kindred did have ulti there, and so my goal of just trying to one-shot that Kindred, you know, died in vain. Okay, Aurora TP'd mid, which isn't really that great. I think she should have TP'd bot. That way she could save the turret and get the big wave here. But instead, we're going to just lose the turret. Ideally, we still keep this big wave. And actually, it goes into us now. So we're getting closer and closer to getting the IE, which is pretty happy for me. However, I think that was poor pack row by my mid laner in particular. Let me just ward this. But overall, that fight was not bad by us. Up until the very end there, where we kind of just were stuck and Udyr couldn't find his way into the fight. I also think my Maokai was trying a little bit too hard to, you know, keep on playing out the fight. And so he could have just soaked a lot less damage and try to be more meaningful when it came to peel. Here, my Aurora should be going bot lane instead of mid lane. My win condition here is ideally they don't just force the Herald just straight up. I think Herald should be another big fight, and I should have IE on this next base. Just dash to dodge the bomb. That's fine by me. Is this a cannon wave? This is a cannon wave, so I should be able to get a nice little base off here. Base, sell my call, get my Infinity Edge, and I should be a very, very happy camper. Just need to wait here for a few seconds. And now I am 2-item. I am 2-item. I am extremely strong. Probably the strongest in the entire game next to Udyr when he pops his ultimate. And so, I want to look to fight. I have 2 items. Just going to spam ping this for my team to know. I want to look for fights. So, I'm down to go here. Udyr can't find anything on this timer. I'm just going to ulti this. Udyr uses double R here. He kind of just uses it out of panic because that doesn't accomplish anything. Okay, the top laner roamed, so that pretty much stopped our play there. I got a good chunk on the Qiyana, so if she tries to go bot lane here, my Aurora should be able to kill her. Okay, Qiyana's extremely fair. So, looking at and pre-planning for my next fight. What can kill me? It's going to be the Kindred ulti, it's going to be taking a CC ability, and it's going to be Qiyana just getting on top of me. So if I can avoid those 3 things, I can win the game. During that team fight, you notice how I kept on bobbing and weaving in and out of the fight to make sure I can avoid the bombs in the Zilean E and the Seraphine E. Then I have to make sure that I'm avoiding the Qiyana now. Tahm Kench is also looking for me, but it's easier to dodge Tahm Kench as long as I can see him, which is a lot easy to see, easy to do because, you know, he's a big blob guy. Okay, top lane has been slain. There's a Herald showing up there. I don't know where Qiyana is. Qiyana is still missing, and so I have to be very, very cautious here because we don't have bot push. Qiyana could just either just go behind my turret and try to, you know, W over the wall, ER me. Looks like we're TPing top. Their bot lane's not moving at all, which tells me that Qiyana is probably nearby. I don't have the mana to sustain an elongated fight. Here we got the pick on the top side there. And so, boom, we found the Qiyana. Qiyana's here. We know that their Seraphine has the base. I'm going to pick up this plant here because I need mana. And so let's look for a pickup here. This should be ours pretty handedly, because Kiana doesn't seem to be moving. I'm just going to ulti the Zillion here. Zillion gets out. And we look for base. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I need to finish a pair of boots, and Lucidity is not bad. I think having Flash is pretty helpful in this game. And because I think that I'm going to be hitting the Tahm Kench and the Zillion the most often, rather than going Navori, right? Navori is only good if I can hit a champion. Consistently hitting a champion such as Kiana, who has Bush Q, which is in terms of invisible, a Seraphine who's 9 yards away, and a Kindred who has a good amount of stacks, which he's going to have like more range than me, is highly unlikely for me to constantly get Navori autos off. And so instead, I'm going to look for a burst, just raw, unadulterated burst. And so, let's see, Seraphine heal, pretty massive. Tahm Kench also heals throughout a fight just a little bit. And so I'm going to be going Mortal Reminder. Zillion is also starting to stack a lot of armor early. Going a Randuin, so if I want to deal damage to him, I definitely need Armor Pen. And here, I want to aggress very heavily onto the Seraphine. Notice how I see 4 people bottom side, and I'm hugging really aggressively on this top side of this wall. That is on purpose. Again, I know where everyone is. I need to adjust my position accordingly. Okay, Dragon's coming up in 40. I don't want to give up this mid wave. I really don't want to give this mid wave. This mid wave is very important to me, so I can have priority for my teammates. It lets us get vision, lets us play more aggressively. So here, get this. We technically should be shoving bot wave out right now with the Aurora, but I think she's too afraid of finding where Kiana is and getting one shot. And honestly, so am I. I don't blame her. Okay, we have a ward here that I think we need to clear. That way we don't get TP'd on and flanked. And again, Dragon up in 17 seconds. I don't know where anyone is on their bot lane and their top lane. So I'm going to hug the middle of the lane. I'm standing right dead center in the middle. Here, we got one shot. I'm going to see if I can get a cheese pick on Seraphine here. Actually, we are indeed getting into a fight. This fight is going to be over because I can't connect to it. What I can connect to, however, is this fight. Watch this. Seraphine's going to come from one of these 2 passageways. Get a pick. Just get a pick. I'm just sitting in that bush waiting for an opportunity to look for a kill. I find it. Here, there's not much else we can do. They're just going to get slowed completely. Okay. My mid laner got picked. I picked their ADC. And this means it opens us up to getting a mid turret. Or at least a really good chunk. My Udyr is taking all my minions. It's making me very sad. But, you know, alas, life goes on. Here, Kenyon's going to show up. Let's take a nice little base here. I'm going to keep on running forward on the top side because I know that, number 1, their entire team is below me. And number 2, there is a big Tahm Kench to my right. Here, it looks like a fight's going to break out again. I'm going to be positioning up here. Tahm Kench is alone. Kiana is looking at me, and I don't want to really entertain this idea. Nice, good on me. Ooh, close. Did we not get the red buff? I just realized, did we not get the red buff? Udyr got his fresh red. That means someone else took the red. Because I only flashed forward because I thought I had the red buff to slow the Seraphine so I can get an easier combo off. But it just wasn't there. So that's really unfortunate. The good thing is, though, we played our positioning in the fights right to where we got max value off. We chunked the Tahm Kench, so when he went in over the wall to try to get onto the Udyr, we ended up killing him. And then the Kiana, she was tunnel visioning on us and then just tried to help the fight out. And we got to pick off on her. And so we're trying to position a way to establish really good positioning first, just good footholding and where we can not get hit when we're hitting back. And we're making sure that we're dishing out max DPS. Unfortunately, at the end there, we got a little bit too aggressive and we gave our life away. I don't think us being alive would have helped us end the game, honestly, but it's still just a good thing to keep in mind.
An ally has been slain.
What was that? I don't even know what I just saw. A bunch of colors just flew through my screen. I think that was like Udyr's base or something. Here, I don't want to die. If I die here, it's a really bad tempo. It's their turn to play the game. They want to shove in forward here. And you know what? Because my top laner is dead for this fight, I'm just going to ulti this wave. I'm just going to ulti this wave. Just make sure they don't have a chance to even touch my turret. Here we see the fight happening where they're trying to pick off our Udyr. This is really bad for them. Oh, it's bad for us. I think I actually ended. I ended. The Seraphine ult came out. Oh, I forgot about the Seraphine ulti. For some reason, I thought it wouldn't be up or I wouldn't be hit by it. But I got tunneled onto the Kiana looking for the kill there. I also forgot about the Zillion ulti. That's just a really big mistake that I just did there. Where I just, you know, forgot my checklist of team fights of what I need to look for. Luckily, my Aurora is really fed now. Just completely one-tap the Seraphine off the face of the earth. And so, need to recheck in. Need to recheck in on what our standpoints are in this game. Number one, we need to position well. We need to know what can kill us, how to avoid it, and position far away from it. I saw that Kiana had no R, and Kiana used all her spells and was low HP, so I figured it was safe for me to dash in and get a kill. Nope, I forgot that I had to dodge the abilities, right? I have to dodge the CC abilities in order for me to live. So, get a nice little recheck in there. Let's see, Baron's up in 20 seconds. I think I can pick up this wave. I don't think my team really needs me.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Ooh, actually.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Tahm Kench is going to be leaving here. I have no idea why I'm getting marked. I can't tell if Kenju's just running down here or not. I'm going to hope he isn't. Okay, I need to dash and run directly to this Baron here because I think enemy team knows that we're going to be on it. Let's see, try to pick up a nice little mid wave on the way. Little dine and dash. I know that Kiana is probably sitting waiting in this bush for me. Nope, she's not actually. Which means I'm very curious as to where this person is. Dash into this bush. I found Kiana. Kiana's on the top of that bush here. Kiana's still above us. That's the fight that they were looking for. Just gonna keep ulting in this direction. I dodge a Seraphine ulti. Seraphine no E. Look for Tahm Kench here. I get slowed. I have to wait out my cooldowns. Chunk out the Tahm Kench here. Nice. I don't think Maokai can catch. That'd be cool if he did. And that was a pretty good team fight by us. We got a good amount of spacing off. I'm going to be able to get this inhibitor. I don't think we can end the game because Seraphine is still alive, but however, we're keeping the Kiana away. We can keep going. We can keep going. We can keep going. Like, they're completely out of position here. I think we won. Yeah, Kiana's just completely stalled out. If we just hit Nexus, we end the game. Wow, that was a really messy game, but in that last team fight, we played our objectives well. We dodged skill shots. We made sure we weren't getting picked off. And thank you guys for watching. That was a very explosive game.
Victory.